All right, welcome to another DFW Running Talk. I'm Chris Detzel, and before we get started with the next guest is that we are doing quick hit videos and audio podcast for 10 people, 11 people maybe, to get their Boston journeys and how they got to Boston and what they're looking forward to the most. And today's special guest is Joel Mays. Joel, how's it going?
What's going on? Good evening.
I appreciate you getting on, man. This is exciting.
No, definitely very exciting. 2 weeks out.
It's 2 weeks out to Boston. And you were telling me a little bit about yourself, about running 7 marathons. Tell me a little bit about kind of your marathon journey. And do you run with the group and all that kind of stuff?
The marathon journey started for me in 2022. I
Huh.
literally went to a run group on Global Running Day, not knowing what to expect. I got passed by everybody. I think I was like one of the last runners to finish because I realized
That happens.
you don't have to run so fast to start off. Everybody was taking their time and you
Of
build into
course.
your time. I'm like, what do you say? What's everybody doing? But after a
Yeah.
while, I got my first 5K by that September. By that December, I ran my first marathon. That was BMW.
Damn.
Yeah.
How'd you train for that? What was that like?
The run group I was a part of, they actually had a training plan. So I went with them for every
Okay.
long run, for every tempo day, for every fartlek run. I would just pretty much yield to whatever the training plan was.
Yeah.
Then the following year, I realized that I needed more coaching because I'm not built like the average runner. So I had to really put on the work and then put the effort in. So I
Yeah.
ran my second year, I ran New York City and Chicago Marathon.
Okay. That's pretty awesome. What's your best marathon time?
My best marathon time right now is a 4:38.
Okay. That's really awesome. And who do you run with? Like what group?
Right now, I'm the run captain for Black Men Run Dallas.
Okay. Black Men Run Down. I have not heard of the group. That's good to know. I'm going to look you guys up. We're not here to talk about your running group, but most
Okay.
people like to run with community, right?
Yes.
Is there anybody else that you're going with to, I know we'll hear about your story here in Boston here shortly, but are you taking anybody there with you?
Yes, my close friends are like my brothers are going. My friend Chris and then my other friend Isaiah, they're both coming with me.
Awesome.
So I have some people to make sure I go to bed, make sure I got my carbs in me. My friend Zay's already mapped out all the restaurants we're going to eat at that are in walking distance to the hotel. I think
100%.
Yeah, I think we're like really close to the finish area, which is great so that way I can get off my feet once I'm done.
Sweet. Now tell me a little bit how you get into Boston and we'll go from there.
A friend of mine in New York sent me a link to iFit. iFit was doing a Road to Boston 2026. You had to submit a video that had to be less than 3 minutes, and they really
Okay.
wanted you, right? You had to pretty much sell yourself in 3 minutes. So talk about what your running journey is, why Team iFit would be a great fit or outlook for you, and then also being able to understand what does Boston mean to you. And once I did that, I just waited. And one day I was literally sitting on my computer and all of a sudden I just saw this email pop up and it said, congratulations, you made it to Team iFit. They selected 10 runners.
Wow. How many people applied for that?
I'm really curious, but I definitely want to ask. I want to ask the race director once we get to Boston. I'm like, hey, when we have our shakeout, I'm like, how many people applied for this? I'm curious.
What'd you say? I'm curious.
So
That's
for
pretty
me,
awesome. Maybe I'll do it.
So for me, I talked about how one Team iFit has always helped me with my training because obviously in Dallas our weather is it fluctuates. It's
Yeah.
rain or it's hot. So
Yeah.
for me, all the rain, sometimes I had to run inside. Having a Nordic Track treadmill, iFit was the app that was able to help me utilize some of the training programs and actually simulate the Berlin Marathon and also the Chicago Marathon. So I trained and I actually did my 22-mile run on the treadmill, like towels
That
all around the
sucks.
treadmill, sweat everywhere, like crazy work. I watched Harry Potter, Deathly Hollows 1 and 2
Yeah.
just to really get through this run. It was like just maintain. But iFit was always that cornerstone that supported me. So I pretty much told them that they've helped me for 2 marathons. And I also talked
Awesome.
about my daughter who had passed away
Oh,
because
no.
she's the reason I started really getting into running. And I know my purpose behind my runs. So that way, when I have those tough moments around mile 21, 22, I always ask the same question. I hope I'm making you proud. I'm talking to her. So during the run, I smile and start thinking about conversations with her. And then I keep saying, Dad can do hard things. So I just continue to run on like with her strength on me. And I write her name all over my running shoes for my race day.
I get some questions now because I didn't know we are getting, and if you don't mind, is that okay? Okay.
That's
What's her
cool.
name and what happened?
So her name was Peyton Leslie Mays, and Peyton, her heart was too big.
Oh, no.
So she was born with her twin brother Preston. This is after they said she wasn't going to make it past the first trimester. She kept growing. She said, I'm strong. I can do this. And she kept evolving and growing each trimester. And when she was born, she had a lot of complications, couldn't keep her food down. And one day, it was July 4th. They said, "Oh my gosh, she's eating, she's doing well." But then on July 5th, she was on life support.
Wow.
So we had to make a hard decision and kind of just really decided for once, let's not hold her with cords. Let's not hold her with
Yeah.
wires or anything else. So the doctors took everything off and I held her and she pretty much grabbed my finger. And she was calm, she was relaxed, and then I just held her till she went cold.
Wow. Like, I'm speechless and I'm a little tearing up a little bit. So I can't imagine what that was like. And I love that you have a why you're doing this and things like that. And so that's pretty cool. And what are you looking forward to the most in Boston?
In Boston, I'm looking forward to the networking of all
Oh,
of these different runners, the history behind it. It's the mecca of all races. It's people want to always catch that unicorn. And me going to college in New England, it's so weird to go back to New England, but now
yeah.
in the capacity, going to school in Rhode Island, but going to Boston the weekend of the Boston Marathon, not even realizing what a marathon was when I was in college. I was like, why are all these streets blocked off? We just wanted to go get food and we can't even get to where we want to get to because of all this
Just
stuff.
sex.
Because in my head, I'm like, who are all these people and why are they
Yeah.
here? What is the problem?
Yeah.
That's when I realized, oh, it's a marathon. And I kept looking.
Mm.
I said, what is a marathon? And somebody explained it to me. I said, oh, I'll never do that.
Yeah.
20, who's doing that? I
A
was
lot of
mad.
people, actually.
I was like, I'm not doing this. I played sports and I was get pissed when coach says, oh, go run a lap. A
Yeah.
mile? Why? And then I'm adding 25.2 more. So it's a different idea. It's a different process, but it's also realizing that people always want to get to this race and to be
Yeah.
blessed to be here and feel like it's a culmination of everything that I wanted to do and also the growth within who I am as a runner. All that's going to be represented between how my coach trained me, how he's pushed me each month since we started. He helped me train for the Marine Corps Marathon, and now he's helping me with
Wow.
this one. Actually, for two, for Boston and for London.
Who's your coach?
His name is Ryan Smith. Yes,
That-
he runs with Run DFW. He's one of the pacers for DRC. He's pretty much
Yeah.
all over the map, and he's also a cross country coach too.
I think I might know him or I might know who he is. I don't know. That's cool. You got a coach and you're running London.
Yes, sir.
Wow. That's not that far from Boston.
No, not at all.
So you can do 2 in a row. That's going to be insane.
Finish Boston, rest, and then not run again until the shakeout when I get to London.
Are you doing a shakeout with anyone? You friends or people you might
So
know there, or what's that?
So there's several shakeouts that I want to attend, but obviously just to show face, I know Brooks is going to be doing a shakeout run. Then I know iFit's doing a shakeout run. Abbott's doing a shakeout run as well. So those are three I definitely want to make sure I tap into. But other locations, I just want to pop up and just see different runners, people that I've be probably seen online and never met in
Yeah.
person. So being able to just have those conversations and just say, hey, I followed you for years, and honestly just ask questions and then hopefully be able to connect with some local brands like Pioneers to go support their
Yeah.
events. Obviously, Brooks is going to have the Hyperion House out there. So I want to go support that as well.
Yeah, it's cool because like during the expo, now I've mentioned this in other podcasts, but is just branded specifically for that one. And it's not great. You want to go to the expo because if you've never been, but it's the pop-up stores that they have outside of the expo. They're all over the place. And that's where you need to be is Nike has a store, all these other places, Brooks and everyone else has these pop-up places that you need to go to and go in and just hang out. So make sure you do that. It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Where you staying? What hotel or Airbnb or what? Friends?
I know we're going to be in a hotel in Cambridge.
Okay. Okay. You're going to be in Cambridge. So what have you heard about Boston that does anything not scare you, but as in the race itself, what is it that you know about the race and kind of you're looking forward to and then a little bit, oh my gosh, anything?
From living here that Dallas is not flat. So all of the hills that we train on, a lot of people keep saying that Boston hills are tough. And I say, okay.
Yeah.
So for the first 6 miles, they say don't get too excited because that first 10K
That's right.
is a net downhill. So you want to relax your
Yeah.
legs.
First 3
Don't-
miles is
Right. So don't overwork your quads, but really just take your time. So what me and my coach have worked on is really being able to just pace really easy for the first half of like my long runs to really see how I can assess my legs and then on the back half kind of kick. Like today I had a 16 miler and the first half was zone 2 and then I kicked to a zone 3 on the last 8 miles, just being able to see how well I can hold, but pretty much attacking each hill, but knowing that after the hill is completed, to be able to relax and just let gravity do its work.
And do you have a goal for Boston Marathon? Is it a time
Finish,
wise? Yeah,
finish. But
get it done.
but this training block is probably my strongest training block. We just finished a 200-mile month last month, and
Okay.
I know that just based on my performance on other smaller races, half marathons, I got a sub 2 in Indy last year. I'm stronger than what I was then, and even for Marine Corps, I've lost some more weight, so my body's definitely in a better position. I just know recovery and tapering is serious. This week, chiropractor appointments,
Yep.
massage therapy. I did a cold plunge this afternoon after work, so
Awesome.
it's just all of the things to make sure that I know that I'm ready. I did an hour in a compression boost before I talked to you. So I really put forth the effort of eating clean, no fast foods, no drive-throughs.
Smart.
And as a chef, it's okay for me to just cook my own food.
Oh, you're a chef. Tell me
Yeah.
about that for a minute. I'm interested. What do you?
uh, I've been cooking since I was like 4 years old. I fell in love with it. And it was two passions, football and it was cooking.
Yeah.
My Yeah, so going to culinary school was a no-brainer for me. So I went to Johnson& and
Nice.
Wales in Providence, and I started cooking. I got out of school, I cooked in the military, so I cooked in the Army, and I've been a private chef now for 16 years for NFL players,
Wow.
and I also teach at Tarrant County College as a culinary instructor.
Wow, that's awesome. What's the name of player in NFL that everybody would know that you cooked for or are cooking for? I don't.
I cook He's retired now, but I used to cook for, Brandon Marshall, linebacker of the Denver Broncos.
Okay. Well,
Mm.
yeah, I've heard of him. Wow, man, that's pretty awesome. All right. So anything that you would say that we didn't talk about that you might would want to say? Any kind of thoughts before we end?
The biggest thing I would tell anybody when it comes to running, don't ever let somebody else's journey dictate yours. Running
I love
is
that.
freedom, running is therapy, running is healing, but also running is joy. So it doesn't matter what your pace is, from an 18-minute pace all the way to a 4-minute pace. If you are moving, you're out there for a reason. And every race you go through, just take it 1 mile at a time and just smile through the process, because the journey is beautiful. I always tell everybody, you got to get into it, because it's just something about what it does to your body, what it does for your mental, but also just what you feel emotionally. Like that dopamine hit is nothing like it, because for a brief moment, no matter what, you just feel like you're flying.
Hell yeah, man. I love that. That was awesome. Thank you. Thank you. That was great. Joel, thank you so much for coming on to DFW Running Talk. And to our audience, make sure you go to dfwrunningtalk.substack.com, subscribe to the newsletter. Joel, what a story. That's really awesome. I will see you in Boston and I can't wait. So thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you.